Man, excited for the boys. They worked so hard. I rode them the whole year. Try to be great. And to try to be great, and they met the challenge. And it wasn't easy on either day. Every day was a grind. I never let up because I wanted them to be great. And we got the result out of all that hard work this year. It's a championship, not only for ourselves, for the school and for the city. It's a huge start to where this program really wants to go.
All right, Teresa, first question.
Coach, you say that the way you all finished, winning 11 of the last 13, you had those one possession, losses to Houston, which is in the an Elite Eight team. When you see that, you see the block laid maybe for the future of what this program can do now from here.
Yeah, for sure. We have to get our culture like theirs. Coach Sampson has an unbelievable culture. Those guys play hard for 40 minutes, and that's hard to do. That's hard to drive guys to doing that, and they believe in that. I know we have the talent. These guys have to commit to doing it for 40 minutes, and it will be scary. Like our coach, our assistant coach, Jermaine Johnson says, even the sky will be in the way. It wouldn't even be the limit because we have so much talent that we kind of get in each other's way. And if we could ever figure it out, man, we could be scared. Like I said, we lost to Houston twice without Alex Lomax, who was our best defensive guard and our leader. To be able to win this thing without him, it shows what these guys are really made of. So we're headed in the right direction.
Danielle?
Speaking of Alex, you got him on the floor for the last couple seconds there. Just how important is it to make sure that every single person who made a contribution to this championship, feels like they're valued? And, you've talked before about balancing personalities and like you just said, not getting in each other's way. In these last few games, it seemed like all of that really dissipated and you guys were able to play as a team.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing to see how they grow and mature together. Obviously, we wanted everybody to play once it got down to the end because everyone knows, even down to Connor Glennon, who was a walk-on, I treat him like he's my son. They treat him like he's their brother, and they wanted him to get in the game, even though he didn't get a shot. Maybe I could have put him in a little earlier, but that's how our family atmosphere is at the University of Memphis. We want everybody to know, and everybody has contributed to this. Coaches, the video guys, to all the players, Connor included, have contributed in practice, just doing things that we needed to be doing for us at this level.
Clayton?
Hey, Penny, we all know the story by now, Dez, of what he was talking about, wanting to win championships at each level. And obviously, this isn't the championship he was talking about or you were talking about when you said you wanted to hang a banner, but nonetheless a championship. In that final moment when you get Alo out there on the court, that part of that coming true. I mean, how much were you thinking of Dez, towards the end here today? Yeah,
for sure. There's definitely thinking about Dez a lot, especially when we put Alo on the floor because Alo has been through everything with me as a player from sixth grade all the way up till now. And for him not to be able to play in this NIT to help his brothers, I know it was killing him on the inside. And just those 40 seconds and whatever he got put into the game meant the world to him because sometimes you can be forgotten when you're not in the spotlight. And then guys can forget about you. But he was so pivotal and important to us because he kept the guys level-headed when they came to the bench. He kept them level-headed on practice days and in the hotel. And he knew he couldn't play, but he brought that leadership. So to be able to put him out there and think about Dez at the same time, yeah, it got a little emotional because we want to win championships, and the NIT is just a start.
And in that same vein, the way that just college basketball is right now, with the transfer portal, with, transfers and everything overall, it's no guarantee with any team that everybody comes back. What's your message to these guys about what you have right now and what you can accomplish now moving forward?
Well, I'm the type of coach that I don't really try to force kids to stay. If a kid really feels like he wants to go somewhere else and play more minutes, I support that. There's nothing negative about that. Now, if this group wants to stay together, we'll be really dangerous. We'll be very dangerous because now we know the system. The guys, for the first time this year, they know how I coach. They know what I'm expecting. They know what the culture is, and they know what we have to buy into for us to be champions next year on the next level.
Jason?
Hey, Penny, this last month, 6 weeks, whatever it's been, since you guys got hot, Have you had a chance to reflect at all on just the body of work that you put together since turning the calendar over to 2021? I mean, and it's not just, then one of the things that stands out to me is in these four NIT games, your margin of victory is 10 points. Average margin of victory is 10 points. It's been pretty resounding, the success that you guys have had, minus a couple of games against Houston. But just have you had a chance to take stock of how far you guys have come in such a short period of time?
Man, I really have in one sense. In another sense, I'm just coaching day to day. But I always talk about how dangerous we have become because we bought into what we're teaching. We always knew we had the talent. I feel like I had a top 5 team in the country as far as talent, but the mentality had to change. And I haven't sat back and done a lot of thinking about how things have changed from back then and now. I've said, hey, we've come a long ways, but haven't reflected where things really just, I think that the last COVID pause is when I felt like the guys got closer. And when we came back from that, I think that's when it shifted. But I'll do more thinking about that now because the season is over. But I was really pushing from game to game. But to come into this tournament, I don't care who declined to come. The teams that were in this tournament were really good. And every last team here could have won this tournament. And for us to come out on top, it shows that we just, we turned the corner. We were dark in the beginning in DeAndre Williams' voice. And what he always says, we were really dark in the beginning. And now, see a lot of light at the end of the tunnel.
All right, we'll do 3 more, starting with Terry.
Hey, first of all, congrats, Coach.
Thank you.
From starting the season to 6-5 and all the turmoil that happened in South Dakota and all the team talking about all the selfishness, and you come to the end of the season with this championship, how gratifying that is as a coach and as a former University of Memphis player.
Man, it's very gratifying because you got to thank God for the opportunity first. And we got the opportunity to be here now from where it started is a blessing. We have to look at it as that because these kids started to figure out that it's not all about me. It's about my brothers and me. And when that started to happen, you can just see a shift. You can see a shift. The attitudes, the way they conversated with each other on the floor and started communicating. Still were like family where they just kind of went at each other, but you could tell that they wanted the same thing instead of being different things. So, man, it's a sign. It's a sign that, that shows these kids that you can make it through the adversity. A lot of these kids are going through a lot off the court, and they bring those problems on the court. And to be with your brother who's also going through something, and then to be able to leave that behind and do something special, they'll never forget this day.
Isaac.
Hey, Coach, congratulations. Talk about Lester's body of work this season, a guy that just goes out every single night, even if it doesn't show up in the stat sheet. He's going to make those intangible plays, give you 110%. I mean, he gave everything he had for his team. Kind of talk about his body of work this season.
Now, Lester's been phenomenal. If he just continues to just believe that he's dominant and not let anything bother him, he's a special player. And he has to know it doesn't have to do with offense. Like today, he has 16 rebounds. I think he can average 16 rebounds. That's how tough he is. That's how strong he is. He can knock down open shots. He can do so much on the floor, and you can never put a tag on how valuable he is to our team. And he could almost get a triple double every night if he really wanted to. He's come a long way and matured since last year when everything is about scoring to really buying in and rebounding the ball at a high level, defending at a high level, and being a leader.
Danielle, last question for Coach.
What was your message to the guys at halftime after, they made that run at the end, and how did you see them execute what you wanted them to in the second half?
Well, I mean, I just challenged them on that we were the better team. We were the better team, and we weren't playing like it. We only had 5 assists. Everybody was trying to go one-on-one, and we weren't playing the way that we played the game before. And if everybody played that way, then everybody would be successful, and that's what happened in the second half. I had no fear that we weren't going to win this game because we had the talent. We just had to bring it together and play the game the way we know how to play. And my message was, it's on you guys because you're prepared. You guys meet up, and then when you go back on the floor, be ready to win a championship. And that's what they did.
Is this really a culmination of everything you've been trying to teach them all season?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they don't know always. It's like kids with their parents. You don't know why a parent is getting on you. They don't know why I'm getting on them, or maybe they do and they don't like it. But at the end of the day, I see greatness in every kid on this team. And it's my job to pull it out, whether they like it or not. And now after being champions, maybe they'll reflect on this going back home or over the next 3 months, like this is the reason why coach really wanted us to come together, because of special things like this. To me, you get the nation watching you in 4 extra games to put your name out there more, and they get closer to their dreams and their goals of going to the NBA. Then they put Memphis back on the map, because no matter what, you win a championship, you're on national TV, everybody's talking about Memphis now. So maybe they'll start to understand why I'm so tough.